guys will have some
Well, my daddy left home when I was 3. He didn't leave much for Ma and me. Just an old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Well, I don't blame him cause he run and hid, but the meanest thing that he ever did was, before he left, he went and named me Sue. Well, he must have thought that it was quite a joke, cause he got a lot of laugh from a lot of folks. It seemed I had to fight my whole life through. Some gal would giggle and I'd turn red, and some guy would laugh and I'd bust his head. You know, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. Well, I grew up hard and I grew up mean, and my fists got fat, my wits got keen. Roamed from town to town to hide my shame. But I made me a vow to the moon and the stars that I'd search all the honky-tonks and bars, and I'd kill the man that gave me that awful bag. But it was Gatlinburg in mid-July, and I had just hit town and my throat was dry, so I stopped in a bar to get myself a brew.
Oh, you're back.
At an old saloon on a street of mud, there at the table, dealing stud, was that dirty, mangy dog named me Sue. Well, I could tell that snake was my own sweet dad by the worn-out picture that my mama had, and I could tell by the scar on his face and his evil eye. Oh, he was big and bent and gray and old, and I looked at him and my blood ran cold, and I said, "My name is Sue. How do you do? Now you gonna die." Well, I hit him hard right between the eyes, and he went down, but to my surprise, he got back up and bit off a piece of my ear. Well, we fell through the window and into the street. In the window into the street, whoops, kicking and gouging in the blood, the guts, and the beer. Well, I tell you, boys, I fought tougher men, but I really can't remember when. Man, he kicked like a mule and he bit like a crocodile. Well, I went from his gun, he pulled out his fist. I went for my gun and he pulled mine first. I started looking at him and I saw him smile. He said, "Son, this world is tough, and if a man's gonna make it, he's gotta be tough." And I knew that I was gonna be there to help you along. Well, I gave you that name and I said goodbye. I knew you'd have to get tough or die. And you know, it's that name that helped to make you strong. Well, you just fought one hell of a fight, and I know that you hate me and you got the right to kill me. And I won't blame you if you do. But you ought to thank me before I die for all the gravel in your guts and spit in your eye, because I'm that dirty dog that named you Sue. Well, what could I do? Well, I got all choked up and I threw down my gun and called him Pa, and he called me son. I walked away with a different point of view. And I think about him every now and again, and every time I try and every time I win. And if I had a boy, well, I'd name him, I don't know, Ross or Tim or Kit. Anything but Sue. I still hate that name. All right, thanks a lot. Happy